Hi, thanks for joining me again on Opinionista. Today we're going to be talking about a central New York landmark called the Rome Capitol Theater. Built in 1928, it still retains a lot of its original features, including upholstery, Art Deco, detailing, lighting, and my personal favorite, the telephone booths. When I went there recently, Jack very graciously gave me a tour, and it was absolutely fascinating. We started in the lobby, which is like has this 1970s concession stand, which, wasn't that thrilling, but it gave you a sense of the history of the place. We went down into the theater area where the actual seating is, and he explained to us about the orchestra pit, about the organ that still works. And of course, they needed an organ in 1928 because there weren't any talkies around, just silent films. He then took us backstage. We got to see the mechanicals, the boiler room, all the ins and outs that happened behind the scenes, and explained to us that when it was built to not only it wasn't built just for movies. It was built for vaudeville shows, for live theater, for bands, and so for that, it's really, really versatile, and it's still relevant today. They do live theater there, they do bands, they do magic acts, they do a whole bunch of interesting things at the Rome Capitol Theater. Jack took us to the dressing rooms where we saw a lot of stuff. Like you could just imagine the things that went on down there. Next, we went up to the mezzanine, which is a big fancy word for a big open area, before you head upstairs to the balcony seating, which was absolutely so cool. They had the original seats from 1928, and then when they were redone in 1939, and you got to see the upholstery there and the original carpeting that was on the floor, which they're actually replacing. Next, we went into the projection room where there were 3 projectors from 1960s, 60s-ish, and still functioning, still working, and Jack explained how they worked, the mechanicals of it, and showed us that there was actually a 1928 projector as well, but that they didn't use that one. After the tour, Jack graciously said that if we ever wanted to come back, we could, which of course, yeah, hello, who wouldn't want a free tour? I love free things. He also added that they were expanding. In fact, they had just purchased nearby property, and they were building a 50-seat intimate theater, which is going to be used, I should say, for indie films, for art houses, and for live theater without a microphone, which to me, that's how live theater should be. If you can't project your voice, you shouldn't be on stage. That's my little snotty opinionista voice. So the Rome Capitol Theater is well maintained. It is a lot of history. And after the tour, I actually joined about 200 other people in the theater to watch a 1941 Abbott and Costello movie called Hold That Ghost. Really fun to watch. And I akin to seeing a movie theater, an old movie in a movie theater, to listening to music on an LP. You've got a CD, which is fine, but on an LP, there's pops, there's crackles, there's nuances to the music that you don't get on a CD. And it's the same thing in a theater when you're watching something that was produced on film. The pops, the crackles, the lighting, it all adds to the ambiance of the experience, which to me was absolutely amazing. And there's not a bad seat in the house at the theaters either. If you want more information, go to www.romecapitol.com. Here's a little sheet. They've got sheets that they hand out at showings. You can go online and they'll show you what's coming up. I know in December they are showing It's a Wonderful Life, and they've shown it in the past, and it has a huge turnout, and it's really cheap. It's like $6. So it's not like going down to your local cinema where it's $15 to see, half-naked chicks. It's a family place with a lot of history and a lot of fun. Go check it out. Tell Jack I sent you. And I'll see you next time on Opinionista.